What is up, guys? Welcome back to another brand new video, and today we're going to be discussing something that I feel like no one's really ever discussing, but I'm just going to bring it up because I guess why not. But today, you already saw the thumbnail, you already saw the title. I'm going to be saying why I think us fans really have our support for Zack Snyder. And recently I've not been able to upload because I live in Texas, and here in Texas, there's been this whole chaos with the snowstorm. So for those watching, if you've been looking up at the news in recent days, Texas has been struggling with snow. I know a lot of people will say, "Oh, but over in the north, they have much more snow, or Canada has much more snow." Well, the thing is, they're used to the snow. Here in Texas, I'm telling you, if you even see anything slightly white on the ground, you start questioning reality. And so seeing snow outside my window was weird. It looked beautiful, but Texas is just not accustomed to that kind of weather. And I mean, I don't even know why I'm rambling on about that, but really that's what's been happening recently. But anyways, before I get into this video, y'all make sure to smash that like button, hit that subscribe button, and turn on the notification bells. It all takes only 1 second, makes a massive difference to the channel. And if you're into movie news, or anything movie related, whether it's movie reviews, news, or really anything, then you're in the right place, because over here I talk a lot about movies. People around me say I talk about a lot about movies, and I had to create a YouTube channel all about it. So if you really love movies, then you're in the right place. If you love Zack Snyder, you're in the right place too. Over here we talk a lot about Snyder. But anyways, I have not made a real video since my trailer reaction to the Snyder Cut, and it's going to be here in the top right corner. I went all crazy. I did do a live stream discussing the Snyder Cut, but recently in the last few weeks, I've not been able to make videos because there's been more important things happening, and also my internet has been terrible. So even if I wanted to upload, it's like I can't. But anyways, something I noticed that we never discuss as fans is, why do we like Zack Snyder? Why is a director who had a very divisive Man of Steel, and why a director with a very divisive BVS, why is he now arguably the director with the biggest fan base? Why do people want to watch his cut so much? Well, here is the story. Now, I'm going to admit it. When BVS first came out, I didn't like BVS. I don't like that theatrical cut. I think that theatrical cut was too messy. But I will admit, when I watched the ultimate cut, my mind completely changed for the better. And when I watched the ultimate cut like 2 years after, it changed my mind on Zack Snyder. I started watching movies like 300, Watchmen, Dawn of the Dead, and that one animated album movie. How do I always forget the name of that animated album movie? But I was realizing how great of a filmmaker he was. And even though I always loved Man of Steel, I never truly appreciated Man of Steel until I saw all of his other films, and then I started appreciating his film. But I don't even think that his films specifically are what makes him so loved within the film fan community. Now, yes, a lot of people do hate Zack Snyder, and if you don't like his movies, that's cool. It's all subjective. My problem is when you have YouTubers like Andy or Jody who constantly will bash every small little detail about Zack Snyder. I mean, the guy, he's just trying to make a living. He's just trying to make movies that we as the audience will love. But I think there's more of a personal meaning as to why we like Zack Snyder. And I do think 50% of the reason is because to DC fans, he's kind of bringing us what DC fans have always wanted. We want to see a realistic, darker toned films. I mean, why do you think The Dark Knight was so popular amongst DC fans? Because it was a darker toned film. And I feel like a lot of DC fans are particularly fans of darker comics. I've met DC fans and I've met Marvel fans, and I've noticed that they're both very different. And this is also in the comic book aspect. I mean, yeah, Marvel fans do like dark movies. I mean, Logan's very popular amongst Marvel fans, and that's a very dark movie. And I do think that part of the reason why Zack Snyder is so loved is because he embraced the DC side of things. He embraced what it means to be DC. Have a Superman who is not just a smiley, happy, oh yes, ma'am, I'll save the cat out of the tree kind of Superman. He brought us a Superman who had real emotions, who had real feelings. And most of all, he did the one pinnacle thing that I think Superman's all about, and that is the theme of choice. I've always believed that the thematic message of choice is always what made Superman powerful. It's always what made, his comic books some of my favorite comics of all time. And Superman's whole thing has always been choice, and I don't even think the Christopher Reeve Superman did. Now, I respect every other Superman, Superman Returns, Superman the movie, Superman 2, all these other Superman movies, I respect them a ton. However, they're not doing exactly what Man of Steel did. To me, Man of Steel is the best Superman movie of all time, and the reason why is because it really went on to the thematic message of choice, and I feel like that was really missing in the previous Superman movies. And it's like Zack Snyder embraced the DNA of what makes Superman Superman. Nobody cares about the super part of Superman. What we care about is the man aspect of Superman, and I feel like that's why people love Superman. And Batman, he finally embraced what Batman really is. It's a brutal combatic warrior who has post-traumatic stress disorder, and I don't even know why I didn't say PTSD, but he embraced the fact that not only did on that alleyway, that 8-year-old Bruce Wayne, not only did that create Batman, but that killed Bruce Wayne. And I feel like the perfect thing that he did with Ben Affleck's Batman that no other version of Bruce Wayne has been able to do is to show us that no, Batman is not a persona. He is Batman. When he's not in the suit, it feels like he genuinely is still Batman. It feels like he doesn't care about his Bruce Wayne persona. He only cares that he is Batman. Christian Bale, as much as I respect him, when he wasn't Batman, he felt kind of normal. Same thing with Michael Keaton. Same thing with the other Batman. I'm not even gonna get started with Adam West, but I do respect all of them. I love Michael Keaton. I love Christian Bale, and I even kind of like Val Kilmer's. But Ben Affleck's portrayal, I feel like to comic book fans and DC fans in general, it felt like it embraced this side of Batman that we've yet to embrace. And not only that, but arguably the most popular Batman comic of all time is The Dark Knight Returns. And Ben Affleck's Batman is heavily inspired off The Dark Knight Returns. We like seeing the older, grittier version of Batman, and I feel like that's something a lot of DC fans respected. Wonder Woman, we finally showed not only is she a warrior, but she's a lover. Something that the Linda Carter Wonder Woman failed to do is show us that she is a massive warrior, but her goal isn't to kill you, not just that, but to bring love and compassion. I feel, and not only that, but be a role model to the younger people, to younger girls. That's why Wonder Woman's so popular, and I feel like that's how Zack Snyder embraced it. Of course, I do give most of that credit to Patty Jenkins, but I do think the casting was probably more Zack Snyder, so I gotta give him a lot of the credit too. And Aquaman, Flash, we've still not seen them, so I can't say that. But I think the reason why DC fans love him is because he embraced the things a lot of DC fans love. For my personal aspect, most DC fans I've met like the DCEU that Snyder had in plan. Not only that, but Snyder also was trying to bring in Darkseid and was trying to bring in Doomsday, and he brought us all these characters. And not only that, but the fact that he was even thinking about bringing Green Lantern and Martian Manhunter in Justice League itself speaks volumes as to how much dedication Snyder had to his DCEU. And I feel like that's part of the reason. I do think a lot of that reason is because of how much love he has for the DC characters and the DC properties, and I feel like that's something most DC fans respect from Snyder. But not only that, but I think it's also a personal aspect. Something I've always respected a lot about Snyder is he's not someone who talks bad about other directors or actors. Even now with the whole Snyder Cut release, he has yet to say a single bad thing about Joss Whedon. He has yet to say a single bad thing about Warner Bros. And the behind the scenes thing. I mean, yes, he has mentioned the behind the scenes, but he has not mentioned it as a really terrible thing. And that's something I respect, because Snyder could easily go on Twitter right now and say, oh, screw Jeff Johns, screw Joss Whedon, screw Warner Bros., screw everyone who didn't give me my movie. And most of the fans would be behind the back. But the fact that he's just quiet and he's just like, hey, look, I just want to release my movie. That's all I care about. That's something I respect a lot about Snyder, because he could easily right now say F Joss Whedon and the whole fan base would be behind his back. And I do think that's a large part of why a lot of people like him, because he seems like a nice, gentle guy. He seems like a guy who you can just chill with. He seems like a guy you can just hang out with, and I think that's something we like. But I think the main thing that I feel like none of us ever seem to mention is the underdog aspect. I do think the part of the reason why the Snyder Cut movement became so big is because of the underdog aspect of it. A lot of fans and a lot of film fans in recent years have been fed up how studios, we're not getting director-filled films anymore. We're just getting studio-meddled, interfered films. I mean, Look at films like Justice League, Suicide Squad, Ant-Man and the Wasp. There's so many movies that feel so bland and forgettable because it doesn't feel like it's a director's proper vision. And yes, I know there has been a bad director and bad director films. Like, I mean, Wonder Woman 84 to me is a pretty poorly made film. But in general, it feels like, to us fans, that underdog aspect of Zack Snyder is what helps us, helps us love him as a director, as a filmmaker. And when the Snyder Cut movement began, it was just a pipe dream. It was made out of thin air. And the fact that so many people came in, so many, banners, protests, actual like that, stuff like that happened, shows us the levels that fans were wanting to go just to see this cut of a movie, not just because they want to see what he had in store, but because he really was the underdog. A lot of people hated Man of Steel. A lot of people hated Batman vs. Superman. The critics, half the audience hated it. And it's like, to the people who like those movies, it's like, we want to show our support because he gave us films where he took massive risk. It felt like real director films. It didn't feel like studio meddled, interfered films. It felt like Zack Snyder had a vision and he wanted to execute that vision with Man of Steel and Batman vs. Superman Ultimate Cut. And that's really how I see it. Not only that, but his films are so beautiful to watch. Compare Justice League to BVS. Regardless if you hate BVS or not, you cannot tell me that Justice League, cinematography wise, looks better than BVS. BVS at least has moments that look beautiful, moments that look amazing, while Justice League, it seems like super bland, super terrible, ugly. The lighting is awful, the colors are terrible, they do not match the suits that the characters are wearing. And I feel like part of the reason is also because people love Snyder's cinematography. I'm just going to bring up this one example. I love all of Snyder's movies except the one, which is Sucker Punch. I hated Sucker Punch, but even I, a person who hated Sucker Punch, I can accept the fact that that movie looks stunningly beautiful. I put the mute button, and that film looks stunningly beautiful. And really, I think it speaks volumes to what we like about Snyder. And one of his biggest things is, how beautiful everything looks. And really, there's a lot more things going into this, but, I really just want to make like a little appreciation video for Zack Snyder, because I feel like, this channel has been revolved around the Snyder Cut. And I feel like now it's kind of, I wanted to bring up things on why Zack Snyder is so loved by the film fans. And yes, he does have a lot of people who hate him, but really, I mean, everyone does. And at the end of the day, we just gotta, ignore them. And, for us, just enjoy this great film. Ignore the people who are calling us Snyder cults. Ignore people like Jody. Ignore like Andy. I've made enough videos about them. I'm not gonna make more videos on them. And just ignore them and, enjoy this great film. March 18th is soon to come. And I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. And I really hope you guys watch the Snyder Cut and show your support for Zack Snyder, because really all I want is to see this great film. But not only that, but I really hope to see the grander Snyderverse. I want to see Justice League Part 2. I want to see Justice League Part 3. I want to see Ben Affleck's Batman movie, maybe a Man of Steel 2, maybe, I don't know, more, maybe a Cyborg solo movie. Actually, I would love to see that, but maybe a Martian Manhunter solo movie. I don't know, Green Lantern. And yeah, if you want Snyder, if you love BVS, if you love Man of Steel, please, do the following and go on HBO Max, pay for HBO Max, and, go ahead, show your support for Zack Snyder, because really, at the end of the day, the only way we can send a message to Warner Bros. And HBO Max is by purchasing HBO Max, at least for just a month. It's just $15. Or maybe you don't live around a place where HBO Max, I'm pretty sure it will be on rental. I cannot tell you right now exactly, because I didn't do research on where or exactly how they're going to do it. But if you want to go into that, please do some research, and, please do not pirate it. Please do not, I don't want people pirating, because that's bad. And especially for a film like this that revolves around us as fans needing to see, see Snyder's vision. And, so yeah, I'm going to end off the video. I just want to quickly put appreciation why we like Snyder. There are a lot more things, and I want you guys to comment down below why us fans love Snyder. Personally, I'm one of the biggest Snyder fans you'll ever meet. I mean, I loved Man of Steel so much. And Batman vs. Superman Ultimate Edition, to me, is the greatest comic book film of all time. And I don't on this channel I tend to talk a lot about that movie a lot. So if you're into Snyder, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. But even if you're not a Snyder fan, go ahead and hit the subscribe button, because here I talk about movies, movie news, and everything in the wonderful world of movies. So if you're into that, please smash that like button and comment down below. Every Friday we have WandaVision spoiler discussion, so please stay tuned for all that kind of stuff. And thank you guys for being here, and I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you guys for watching, and also follow me on social medias right here. But anyways, thank you guys for watching, and peace.